Okay, I'm in my car right now driving. Today is April the 17th, 2025. I'm leaving the gym here, and it's about 10:50 p.m. Eastern Time, and got my exercise in, trying to lose my weight, normal thing. Okay, I had this idea in my mind. The name of this video is Most Professional Sports Fans Are Friggin' Idiots. That's right, most professional sports fans are friggin' idiots. And, you know, I've been wanting to make a video about this for a long time, and there was a guy that did an article on this many years ago. It's been since scrubbed from the internet, like most of the glory years of the internet are when probably the mid to late 90s all the way through the mid to late maybe mid 2000s, and maybe about a 10-year run. The internet had about a good 10-year run before everything went Internet 2.0. And this guy, I remember contacting him about this. So this article he wrote was very similar to what I had talked about. Is that basically there's no end to the insanity of professional sports athletes, these professional sports people that make all this money in sports. And so the reason I've labeled this video most professional sports fans are friggin' idiots, are stupid morons, is because they are. I mean, right now in Cleveland, the fans are going ape shit over, oh, we need a stadium, we need a dome stadium. A losing team like the Cleveland Browns, who by the way did another dipshit move and signed Myles Garrett to a ridiculous contract for $40 million a year, $123 million guaranteed. Right after we screwed up and paid this idiot Deshaun Watson $230 million guaranteed. Now they're going to pay another black player. Yeah, it's always a black player, and they got to pay him. They got to play another guy who very well could get injured at any time, because he's been injured before, Myles Garrett. So, and then we are a losing team, so it don't matter. So these fans, like, nothing ever ends. The amount of money that these people make, and these fans, they just keep coming back, and oh, my team, it's such. They talk about these athletes like it's 1955 and it's some pro athlete going to see a kid dying of cancer or something. Like, nobody even expects that anymore. It's so pathetic. Like, these guys live in gated communities. There's a guy named Philip Harper, and he wrote for I think it was MS News or something like that. It was I don't know what the name of the news is. It's an article I actually downloaded years ago, back in 2000, and I'm glad I did, because nobody has ever seen this article. It was called Today's Athletes Are Out of Touch with the Average Fan. And of course, this is from 2000. This is over almost 25 years ago. And thank God I archived it and made some paper print copies of it, because it basically discusses how stupid these fans are, these athletes. They all live in gated communities now. And he was saying about how back in the 60s, most of your athletes had to live within the confines of upper middle class or middle class society. They had to go out there and be your neighbor and be a good person, because their life was, you know, their reputation was on the line if they weren't. These athletes, you stupid sports fans, you're a bunch of fucking retards, and all of you idiots out there, you buy the jerseys, you buy the expensive, you go out there and you buy those expensive personally licensed seats. You go out there and you spend money, you put up with the crap, the taxpayer subsidized stadiums. These athletes hate you people, and these owners would never invite you into their homes. These fucking athletes, they all live in gated communities. They don't hang around you fans, you fucking retard fans that go to these games and you paint your fucking body. You got guys in their 60s that are painting their bodies in a blizzard snowstorm with no shirt on. I mean, these people are such fucking losers, and pardon my language, I'm going to use the F word here. They're such losers. I mean, there's no end. No matter how bad the economy gets, there's no end to these stupid retards spending all this money going to these games. He's going to bring the Browns. When are the Browns going to win, man? Oh, the Browns, man. Oh, let's sign Myles Garrett to a $40 million a year guaranteed contract now, after you fuck up all the time. And it's not just the Browns. And I realize Browns fans are fucking retards. They're morons. They're not the same Browns fans in the 70s and 80s. Okay, and those guys were retards, but at least they wouldn't have put up with the kind of bullshit that goes on with the team now. And I did actually have season tickets for the Browns in the 80s, and I was sitting in there. In fact, I was there filming taking pictures of the game when John Elway threw the drive and everything. I was at that game. I was right in the front row there. I had season tickets. I mean, it was crazy. So here's my point here. You stupid fans, and I'm not just talking about Browns fans, but it's like these fans, they're so stupid, like they cannot for once just boycott sports and say, look, enough is enough. I mean, this stuff is just like, when is it going to be time to just say, screw your stupid team, quit buying these stupid season tickets, quit financing these God-blessed goddamn stadiums, and why can't people just boycott these people and say, no, we don't want to pay a pitcher $14 million, $40 million a year. We don't want to hear this crap. These people wouldn't give you the sweat under their jockstrap if you begged them for it. They'd charge you for it if they did. But you guys keep coming back for more and more. I mean, just look at the losers. Look at any professional sports team. Just take the NFL as a perfect example. There's not a person in any stadium in all 32 teams in the NFL where there's some fucking loser who's got his body decked head to toe with body paint. And you got 65-year-old men doing this too. I mean, it's just pathetic. And then not to mention the cost of concessions at these fucking games. It's ridiculous. Like a beer, a watered down fucking Miller Lights, $15 or $12. And get a load of this, people. Could you imagine if you went to a sports game and you accidentally spilled your beer, like you dropped your hot dog, the vendor got it for you and you dropped it? You think that they would give you a free one? Like if you went to any other place, like a hot dog stand or even a restaurant, and you spilled your pop or something, they'd give you a free one. These people would never, and then these stupid fans would be like, well, what do you expect? It's a stadium. Like they're such losers. Like, of course, like the fact that they're so programmed to expect it. Well, I expect that these athletes, that you wouldn't get a free pop if you spilled it. I would expect that because I'm such a lemming. That's a good word for sports fans. They're fucking lemmings. They're fucking retards. And that's what most sports fans are. Pro sports fans. I will excuse college. College is a short-lived time in people's life, and I know that's a youth thing. But there's no excuse for professional sports. These are grown men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, starting fights, getting into fist fights. I mean, God, back in the 80s, you could not imagine all these fucking redneck, red-bearded hillbillies in the bleachers getting into fights. You got 40-year-old guys acting like they're going on 14. In fact, I've seen 14-year-olds that are more mature than these guys. But, like, they act like, oh, we lost. Oh, we won. No, you didn't win. Your team won, retard. Oh, man, we need to really get this team going. And I'll tell you, everybody's compromised in pro sports. Like here in Cleveland, we have we have what's called Cleveland.com. It's these stupid trio of three. It's two girls and a guy. And then they have the desk, they have people on the desk, and there are all these people, like, they talk about these athletes like they're gods, and what are we going to do? This is a major crisis. Like, if we don't get this Cleveland Browns team working, my God, we're in a critical situation here. I mean, are people just that fucking stupid? Like, there are other things that people could be tying up their time with than a fucking football team, or baseball, basketball, NASCAR, I don't care, NHL, hockey. The way these fans are they're retards. And I'm sick of them. I'm tired of these. And then another thing I can't stand, this maybe could segue into another issue, are these like national syndicated people like the Stephen A. Smiths and the just all these different guys that are nationally syndicated. Some of them are ex-football players, some of them are just shock jocks. They're just like they analyze sports, like they give their breakdown analysis of these athletes, like Colin Cowherd. The guy, I know why they call him Colin now, because he's so full of shit. And The thing is these people, these nationally selected people that they put on the networks that are making millions, they're so useless. Their analysis, you can get it out of a Cracker Jack box. I mean, there's 16-year-old kids giving the same analysis on a 12-year-old kids giving with their own YouTube pages giving the same analysis as these jackasses that are making millions. Anybody that would patronize these pro athletes is a fucking retard. Okay? I have no intention of following the Browns this year. I'm glad the Cleveland Cavs are doing good, but to me, it's not like I'm going to be following the playoffs and watching the games and going out and buying those overpriced beers at the bar. I don't want anything to do with this crap. And I'm not saying that people are going to pay attention to what I'm saying, because most people are just genetically lemmings and they are mindlessly parrot whatever they're expected. I've talked to people about these athletes. I'm like, why do these people live in gated communities? And they're like, when you live in it, dude, what do you expect, dude? That shows what lemmings they are. What do you expect? That's something a lemming would say. What do you expect, dude? It's a sports team, dude. If I were, the one I really love is, if I were famous and I were making their money, I would be just like them. I would be just like that player. And if I came up to me and asked myself for my autograph, I would tell guys like me to go to hell, and I would respect me. I mean, this is like, these people are such self-deprecating retards, these sports fans, as it applies to pro sports. It's such a treasure. I mean, there's no way. And some of these athletes claim to be Christians too. And this is another thing. And I don't want to get into this because I know a couple of famous modern day players were getting millions, were Christians. But I just have to say, remember Drew Brees, where he said, I would never dishonor my country, and he sold out his wife, and his wife went public, and she said, white people are the problem, and he sold out. They all sell out. That's another thing. You can have an athlete that claims to have principles, and as soon as the pressure's on, they sell out. You remember the George Floyd riots in 2000 when Drew Brees said, I will never dishonor my country. And then he apologized for it, for basically saying he wouldn't dishonor his country. That's how bad it is. And these stupid fans, they put up with this shit over and over and over. It never ends. Sports, I'll sum it up like this. Pro sports fans are freaking retards. They're total retards. Anybody that would put up with any sports team, go to the games, go to the bars, buy the merchandise, call those talk shows, listen to their local AM radio outlet, right-wing narcissistic radio outlet, like we have here in Cleveland, WTAM. Bunch of retards. Just these people are so disgusting. The people on the radio, the people in the columnists, they cater to people with such a low IQ. We need another stadium. We need to get the taxpayer to pay for it. Never ends. There's a website called Field of Schemes, not Field of Dreams, but Field of Schemes. And these two writers write about, they wrote a book on this back in the late 90s, but they update people on the latest scam. And they're all, man, it's amazing. They sold their book. They're talking about every month or every update page they have is a new stadium debacle. They're just going to keep pushing this thing till they're blue in the face. We need another stadium. We need another stadium. We need another stadium, man. We need to get the Browns to win. The Browns aren't going to win with a dome just because they got another stadium. And yes, you're going to get one Super Bowl here, and that day will go by so quick. Just like we've had in Cleveland, we've had the NBA playoffs here. I think we had the All-Star game here a couple times. I think it was 81 and 97 or something like that. I think we've had it there since then. But yeah, big deal. You have the All-Star or the basketball All-Star game here, baseball, whatever. This stuff is so ridiculous. But these fans, they're retards. they're morons. They're belligerent too. Oh my God, you don't want to tell a sports fan this. You don't want to tell us a professional sports fan. Oh man, you gotta understand. If I were famous, I'd demand that money too, man. Oh man, I pissed off a guy at work not too long ago. I said only retards would buy season tickets, and guess what? He just so happened to be a Browns fan who has been buying season tickets for the Browns since they reestablished the expansion team in '99. So the Browns technically are not the old Browns, they're the expansion Browns, because the real Browns are really the Baltimore Ravens. And I don't know, that's a big bone of contention with me. They should have kept the name the Browns in Baltimore. But anyways, so the Browns expansion team, which is the '99 team, this guy has been buying season tickets ever since then. And they've had nothing but losing seasons, all but maybe 1 year, 2 years. A disappointing team, never made it. It's just absolutely insane. These fans just they keep coming back. We have a funny thing in Cleveland where I say, oh, there's always next year. And we actually had a good quarterback in Baker Mayfield. But anyways, I don't want to segue into my team. These pro sports fans are retards. They are freaking morons. Okay? And they are people with extremely low IQs, and they're belligerent too. But anyways, you guys have a great day. I'm out of here.